see psychodynamic theories. Psychodynamic theories of personality are heavily influenced by the work of Sigmund Freud and emphasize the influence of the unconscious mind and childhood experiences on personality. Psychodynamic theories include A. Sigmund Freud's psychosexual stage theory, B. Erik Erikson's stage of psychosocial development. Freud believed that three components of personality were the id, ego, and superego. The id is responsible for all needs and urges, while superego for ideals and morals. The ego moderates between the demands of id and superego and reality. Freud suggested that children progresses through a series of stages in which the id's energy is focused on different erroneous zones. Look at this, Sigmund Freud. First, we are going to detail about Freud's models of personality. First model, structural model of personality. Second, topographical model of personality. First, structural model. And detail going on. Structural models as a reference to understand the inner working of being. Freud believed that personality has three parts. Id, ego, and superego. Detail about id. Responsible for all needs and urges. Pleasure principle. The id, the most primitive of the three structures, is concerned with instant gratification of basic physical needs and urges. It operates entirely unconsciously, outside of conscious thought. For example, if your id walked past a stranger eating ice cream, it would most likely take the ice cream for itself. It does not know or care that it is rude to take something belonging to someone else. It would care only that you wanted the ice cream. Next, ego. Moderates between the demands of id and the superego. Reality principle. It is less primitive than id and partially conscious and partially unconscious. It's what Freud considered to be the self, and its job is to be balance the demands of the id and superego in the practical context of reality. So if you walk past the stranger with ice cream one more time, your ego would mediate the conflict between your id, I want it that ice cream right now, and superego, it's wrong to take someone else ice cream and decide to go buy your own ice cream. While this may mean you have to wait 10 more minutes, which would frustrate your id, your ego decides to make that sacrifice as part of the compromise, satisfying your desire for ice cream while also avoiding an unpleasant social situation and potential feeling of shame. Detail about superego. For ideals of morality principle, in contrast to the instinctual id and the moral superego, the ego is the rational, pragmatic part of our personality. The superego is concerned with social rules and morals, similar to what many people call their conscience or their moral compass. It develops a child learns what their culture considers right and wrong. If influence superego walks past the same stranger, it would not take their ice cream because it would know that would be. However, if both your id and your superego were involved and your id was strong enough to override your superego's concern, you would still take the ice cream, but afterward you would most likely feel guilt and shame over your actions. Look at this picture. Freud's theory of personality. Id, I want it now. Ego, I need to do a bit of planning to get it. Superego, you cannot have it. It is not right. Id, pleasure. Ego, reality. Superego, morality. Next, detail about topographical model. Freud believed that most of what drives us is buried in our unconscious. According to Freud, there are 3 levels of mind. 1 conscious mind, 2 preconscious mind, 3 unconscious mind. Detail the conscious mind. Ego includes everything that we are aware of. This is the aspect of our mental process that we can think and talk about reality. This is the part of the mind that holds that you are aware of. You can verbalize about your conscious experience and you can think about it in a logical fashion. Second, preconscious mind, superego. This is ordinary memory. So, although things stored here are not in the conscious, they can be readily brought into conscious. Three, the unconscious mind, id, is a reservoir of feelings, thought, urges and memories that are outside of our conscious awareness. Freud felt that this part of the mind was not directly associable to awareness. We need a psychoanalysis to clear understanding about it. Iceberg metaphor for the mind's layout. Look at this picture, iceberg, id unconscious, superego preconscious, ego conscious. Maximum of our mind is id. Only 10% of an iceberg is visible or conscious, whereas other 90% is beneath the water, preconscious and unconscious. The preconscious is allotted approximately 10% to 15%, whereas the unconscious is allotted an overwhelming 75% to 80%. Next, we are going to deal with Freud's stages of personality development, Freud's stages of psychosexual development. First stage, oral stage, 0 to 1 year. Second, anal stage, 1 to 3 years. 3, holic stage, 3 to 5 or 6 years. 4, latency stage, 5 to 6 to puberty. 5, genital stage, puberty to adult. Detail going on. First, oral stage, 0 to 1 years. In the first stage of personality development, the libido is centered in baby's mouth. It gets much satisfaction from putting all sorts of things in its mouth to satisfy the libido, and thus it demands. Which at this stage in life are oral or mouth oriented, such as sucking, biting and breastfeeding. Freud said oral stimulation could lead to an oral fixation in later life. We need oral personalities all around us, such as smokers, nail biters, finger chewers and thumb suckers. Oral personalities engage in such oral behaviors, particularly when under stress. Second, anal stage, 1 to 3 years, the libido now becomes focused on the anus, and the child derives great pleasure from defecting. The child is now fully aware that they are a person in their own right, and that their wishes can bring them into conflict with the demands of the outside world. The ego has developed. Freud believed that this type of conflict tends to come to a head in putti training, in which adults impose restriction on when and where the child can defect. The nature of this first conflict with authority can determine the child future relationship with all forms of authority. Early putti training can lead to the child become an anal retentive personality who hates mess, is obviously tidy punctual and respectful of authority. Third stage, folic stage, 3 to 5 or 6 years. Sensitivity now become concentrated in the genitals and masturbation in both sexes became a new source of pleasure. The child becomes aware of anatomical sex differences, which sets in motion the conflict between erotic attraction, resentment, rivalry, jealousy, and fear, which Freud called the Oedipus complex in boys and the Electra complex in girls. This is resolved through the process of identification, which involves the child adopting the characteristics of the same sex parent. Oedipus complex. The most important aspect of the folic stage is Oedipus complex. This is one of Freud's most controversial idea and one that many people reject outright. The name of the Oedipus complex derives from the Greek myth where Oedipus, a young man, killed his father and married his mother. Upon discovering this, he put his eyes out and became blind. This Oedipal is the genetic, that is general, term for both Oedipus and Electra complex. In the young boys, the Oedipus complex are more correctly conflict arise because the boys develop sexual pleasurable desire for his mother. He wants to possess his mother exclusively and get rid of his father to enable him to do so. Irrationally, the boy thinks that if his father were to find out about all things, his father would take away what he loves the most. During the folic stage, what the boy loves most is his penis. Hence, boys develops construction anxiety. Electra complex. The girl blames mother for her constructed state and this creates great tension. The girls then repress her feeling to remove the tension and identifies with the mother to take on the female gender role. Fourth stage, latency stage, 5 or 6 to puberty. No further psychosocial development takes place during this stage. Latent means hidden. The libido is dormant. Freud thought that most sexual impulses are repressed during the latent stage and sexual energy can be sublimated. Defense mechanism towards schoolwork, hobbies and friendship. Much of the children's or child energy is challenged into developing new skills and acquiring new knowledge, and play become largely confined to other children of the same gender. Five, genital stage, puberty to adult. This is the last stage of Freud's sexual theory of personality development and begins in puberty. It is a time of adolescent sexual experimentation, the successful resolution of which is settling down in loving one-to-one relationship with another persons. In our 20s, sexual instinct is directed to heterosexual pleasure rather than self-pleasure, like during the folic stage. For Freud, the proper outlet of the sexual instinct in adult was through heterosexual intercourse. Fixation and conflict may prevent this, with the consequence that sexual perversions may develop. Next, we are going to deal with tripartite personality. Freud's 1923 saw the personality structure into three parts, that is, tripartite, the id, ego, and superego, also known as psyche, are developing at different stages in our lives. These are systems, not parts of the brain or in any way physical. Freud conceived that the mind is only having a fixed amount of psychic energy, libido, the outcome of the interaction between the id, ego, and the superego. The id is primitive and instinctive components of personality. It consists of all the inherited biological components of personality, including the sex life, instinct, eros, which contains the libido, and aggressive death instinct. This approach assumes behavior is determined by relatively stable traits, which are fundamental units of one's personality. Traits predispose one to act in a certain way, regardless of the situation. This means that traits should remain consistent across situations and over time, but may vary between individuals. It is perceived that individuals differed in their traits due to genetic differences. These theories are sometimes referred to a psychometric theory because of their emphasis on measuring personality by using psychometric tests. Freud identified three types of anxiety. First type, neurotic anxiety, is the unconscious worry that we will lose control of the id's urges, resulting in punishment for inappropriate behavior. Second, reality anxiety is the fear of real world events. The cause of this anxiety is usually easily identified. For example, a person might fear receiving a dog bite when they are near a threatening dog. 3. Moral anxiety involves a fear of violating our own moral principles. Thank you. Have a good day.